So today I'm talking about fate, this magical, miraculous thing that just gets in the way of what we have desired, what we have planned on, and shows us that the universe has its own plan. The fates of life have their own way about things, and it's not exactly the way you would desire it to be. Now, something interesting about the fates is that each of the 6 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, have a different way of meeting the fates correctly. And so the first line, to begin with, meets the fates correctly. So is met with this chaos of life and the unexpected challenges by retaining composure. The first line is the intellectual foundation of the knowledge hexagram, and the only way to be maintained in the unexpected nature of the fates is retaining your composure, keeping it together. Think about it. How to meet with the fates in a good way. For the second line today. So this second line in the 30th gate, the gate of fate, is about pragmatism. This is about finding the balancing point between extremes. For you see, this second line is that of the natural. The second line can't quite see into themselves so easily. They can't quite explain what they do. But they're a natural at what they do. They have an ability to accomplish things that other people can recognize and call them out on. And the only way they can find balance in this world is in between the two extremes, not going too heavily to one side, too heavily to the other side, whether that be around people or whether that be alone. The second line must find balance between extremes. How to meet with fate in a good way for the third line. And so this one is very interesting. The third line is called resignation. Now this isn't a negative force. This resignation is actually the acceptance of what is. For you see, this third line is here to materialistically trial and error their way through life. They're here to bump into things and have things bump into them. And so the way in which they can meet with fate is through the acceptance of what is. For this third line is going to be bumping into things, and things are going to bump into it. And so it might not be quite such a smooth and soft ride, but it's going to be something that might have some turbulence. And so the way that they can work well in fate is acceptance. Accepting what is. That's so important. Because we're always going to push up against it. And if you're present with it, you're going to have a good time. Peace. So today we're talking about the fourth line. Now this fourth line is about opportunistic influence through one's social network. And so the way in which this fourth line can properly meet with fate and have a good experience is through going into this process called burnout. And I know burning out sounds very negative, but essentially, with this fourth line in the profile of your human design, you might experience burnout, and it's a natural phenomenon. And so with this phenomenon, it is very important within the network to burn out on experiences or people, to go until that burnout point, to know that there is no longer the opportunity for influence. So don't beat yourself up about burning out. See it as a sign. So the fifth line is a truly incredible thing. This fifth line exists at the top of the projection field. And so basically what that means is that we expect great things from the fifth line. The fifth line receives a lot of positive expectation, the hero, the savior, the general. And if they can't deliver on that, people aren't very happy with them. And so the way in which this fifth line properly meets with fate is through irony. And so this isn't just the traditional concept of irony, like I tried to make sure something didn't happen and that's what made it happen. How ironic. It's not only that. Irony through the human design lens is the recognition and the devotion or dedication to transitory goals. Think about that. Today I'm talking about line number 6. And so this line is very profound. It is the newest of the 6 because this 6th line exists to be the true natural role model for humanity in a way unlike ever before. In the shadow, they exist as a hypocrite. They are the people who do as I say, but not as I do, because they were unable to live it before. Now we have the chance. So how this line number 6 can properly meet with fate in a good way. The only possible way for line 6 to do so is through correct action, through right action, through honoring individual inner integrity and authenticity. It's the only possible way to become a true, genuine human role model in today's age. The only way is to honor your truth. That's it.